Ray, welcome to Star Talk.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I think this is your first time, right?
Very first time, not the last.
So you are a large carnivore ecologist.
That's right.
Which I don't even know what that is.
Wow, I kind of dig that though. I'm not sure what it is either, but I like it. You know.
But more broadly, you care about the environment and the intersection of life and food chain and this sort of thing. And so we've got some questions.
So, what would happen to the ecosystem if half of all life was suddenly disappeared?
Because the bad guy on the Avengers Endgame, in the previous movie, he snaps his fingers and half of all life goes away. And in his warped sense of justice, he's trying to help the other half survive so that there's sufficient resources for them. Now, they didn't make it clear whether they killed half of all plant life as well.
Right? Yeah.
Plant life is also alive. Then is he killing half of all worms?
I was going to say, if his reasoning is that he wants to increase resources, then you wouldn't want to kill half of all plant life because that's a resource.
Right, for the animals.
For the animals.
So, but he's also killing half the animals. They didn't make that clear, and I don't know if what they did in the comic book, but let me just ask you, if you take half of any animal species that's in equilibrium with its environment, let's start with an equilibrium case. It's in equilibrium,
Okay.
you take away half of them, what happens?
That's a good question. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in perfect balance, and then you just cut that balance in half.
Right, what happens?
What happens?
Sure, a lot of things happen. And I just want to be clear, this is just the animal species, right? Not plants.
Let's assume that he didn't cut the plants in half.
Let's leave the plants alone.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So, so it's actually a phenomenon that might be potentially very helpful to the planet because
That's what
plants are
Thanos
so
said.
That's what he
important.
said.
That's what Thanos said.
Well, the movie is fairly accurate. And what would happen is that everything would be cut in half. So we would see a tremendous loss. People would be traumatized. There would be a lot of other kind of large-brained animals that would be traumatized, right? Like the whales and the elephants and the gorillas that we've noticed can exhibit emotions similar to people.
And also grieve. They grieve death as elephants grieve death. So do gorillas and other apes. But go ahead.
Right. We've even seen them shed tears and cry in sad situations. So there would be trauma. But in general, what's going to happen is a whole lot of reproduction. And especially with extra space, which means less competition for resources, we might actually see a huge spike in some populations of animal species.